What's going on, 4th and 5? I'm here with your post-game thoughts real quick, and I'll just let you know ahead of time. It's going to be rough come Monday with the film breakdown. A lot to still go back and look at on tape, but from the notes I've taken down so far, it's not going to be pretty. And most of the things going to be up front with the offensive line. Taylen Green running for his life all day. Now, I'll get on Taylen, too, in here just a second. Just wanted to give you my quick thoughts. When it comes to pass protection, it's time to switch something up. Too much pressure is coming off on the edge, specifically the right side of the line of scrimmage where Blackstock is. He's just too slow when he's facing speed on the edge. The defense all day long, A&M, they made sure they had the front to isolate him and always put somebody with speed on his side, and he couldn't just do anything with it. So rather you give him some help with the tight end chipping on his way out, running back that is kind of aiding him, or you're just going to have to find someone else. Now, the thing is, we've seen this on tape for the past 3 weeks with Blackstock on that right side of the line of scrimmage, and nothing has changed. It makes me feel like he's probably our best option. So they're just going to have to figure out a way to accommodate for that because teams now see it on tape, and they're going to take advantage of it. I knew A&M was going to do that before the game started, and that's exactly what they did from the first quarter all the way to the fourth. Now, when it comes to the running game, offensive line, once again, this is not so much of not understanding where to be. It's just slow to the point of attack, making sure the technique is right every single time. They're just getting underneath our pads, and we're getting no push up front. It's embarrassing that for the most part of this game, up until midway in the fourth quarter, our punter was the team's leading rusher. He had a 25-yard rush. Jaquindon Jackson only 37 yards on the ground today, and still the punter ended up second as the leading rusher for the Razorbacks. That's just an embarrassment for the offensive line. So, like I said, the film is going to tell all. I haven't really had a chance to go back and look at most of these plays. So when it comes Monday morning for the breakdown, it's probably going to be a long day for the offensive lineman up front. All right, let's get to Taylen. This is where it gets interesting because he is running for his life most of the game. He is needing to get outside of the pocket. That causes a lot for the inaccuracies. My thing now is the decision making. Too many times he's throwing across his body into traffic of seeing guys downfield, DBs that he should be locating, just making some horrible decisions throwing the ball in those situations. You have to just make peace and move on to the next play and not give the defense an opportunity to get the ball back. 3 turnovers to 0 today. You're never going to win a football game with that type of turnover margin. The play where it was a mesh point. And the thing is, when that guy from A&M came off the edge and blew that up, Taylen's looking right at him. He's literally the guy that they're reading. You have to make a decision way faster than that. Put his team in a very bad situation that led to a fumble, and then should have had a pick 6. There should have been 2 more interceptions on the board here today. So the inconsistency, it's at that point now, week 5, it's time for that to be addressed. And I don't know if it's going to be something where they start up front to give him more time or make Taylen understand this is what we have to work with. Can you get this done? Can you make smart decisions and not put your team at risk for turnovers? Or we're going to find someone else who can. Now, do I believe that's the way to go? No. I still think Taylen is our best option at quarterback. Just the inconsistency, it's going to put him in a position where, in practice at least, I expect to see Singleton potentially get more reps. We'll see how that plays out. And specifically, one play that I can think off the top of my mind should have been a touchdown, just a underthrown ball behind the receiver yet again. You can't miss those throws in games like this. So the offensive line, Taylen, and the running backs, just overall offensively, a very poor product they put on the field. I will highlight an offensive player today, however, though. Andrew Armstrong. He's a dude. He's the real deal. And given what he has to work with and sometimes adjusting to these balls, sliding on the ground, making these catches, he's a real deal receiver, and he had a very good outing here today. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball. I can give praise all day to the secondary, and I'll show you some clips come Monday, maybe Tuesday with how much film I'm about to have to break down, but the goal is Monday. I'm going to show you some clips that are very impressive. Times when it seems like A&M was about to get a lot of momentum going, defense comes on the field and gets a 3 and out. They did it almost 3 times in a row. And the thing about it is they were in man-to-man situations, and a lot of these situations, or a lot of those times that they get back on the field, DBs just did a great job staying with their man, locating the ball in the air, and making a play over and over and over. They were really helping out the offense as much as possible. Bad point on the defense. Defensive line, Like I said, I'm running tight on time here. I don't have enough time to explain exactly what I'm thinking. We had a couple highlights here and there, but the consistency up front when it comes to getting pressure on the quarterback, and that's why I'm giving a lot of praise to the DBs. That quarterback at times had all day to throw 7, 6, 8, 10 seconds at times, and still they recovered downfield. That needs to be addressed as well. There was a couple situations, I don't know if y'all paid close attention, and must-have-its, our starters were not on the field. The coaches are starting to realize it too and shaking some things up. I'll show you that too when it comes Monday. So if you want to see the breakdown, you have to wake up early because I'm going to get to work as soon as I'm done with this. Please subscribe. Please hit that notification button so you don't miss it. Also, leave me some questions of things you want answered about this game. Like I said, it's going to be a lot. I understand that. So get those in as soon as possible so we can go ahead and get to work. Razorbacks fall. Now got a tough task against Tennessee. I think it's safe to say game day probably not going to be in Fayetteville next weekend. We'll be there, though. Thanks for watching 4th and 5.